Yo, what's up guys, Neon Blitz here, back with another Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra video. They have officially dropped the Super Saiyan God Vegeta character spotlight, so I'm going to be reacting to it, seeing what God Vegeta can exactly do, as well as giving my thoughts, and, hopefully comparing him to if he's on Bardock's level, if he's going to be better than Bardock, if he's more on Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta's level. We're just going to figure out everything about him. We have already seen a lot of what he can do, thanks to him being playable in the content creator event, even though we didn't see, amazing performances from him. We still have an idea what his kit does. We've seen all his moves, but we're actually going to be able to see exactly what he does, because we did not have that. I'm surprised he didn't have this character spotlight drop after the end of the content creator event. It was extremely weird. That's what I was expecting when they met God Vegeta spotlight, but no, they just meant that God Vegeta will be playable and shown. But I do love all of his fire effects, and I do love how the red and God looks and the fire effects that come with it. Alright, Super Saiyan God Vegeta, tank. A divine guardian who supports his team by drawing enemy attention from on the front lines. Raise your Red Fury in battle, create attack openings, and seize victory. I believe Red Fury is the same passive that God Goku has, so it looks like they're going to keep that consistent with God. Okay, let's see what he can exactly do. Passive Red Fury. Gains buff by increasing Red Fury. Hitting enemy heroes with rush attacks and skills, excluding super attacks, increases Fury, which then decreases over time while not in combat. When maxed out, buffs itself are activated and skill cooldowns are reduced. Again, so it sounds very similar to God Goku. When buffed, gradually recover armor and apply cooldown reduction to yourself. So armor, as you can see on tanks, he has this green health and then this kind of lighter green. I believe the armor is the lighter green. So it looks like you're going to be able to restore, essentially heal yourself when the passive procs. But it's different than God Goku, who just gets all his cooldowns back and damage pretty much. So it sounds like God Vegeta is going to heal himself and get cooldown reduction. Also, while buffed, Fury will no longer increase, and the power-up ends if you take damage from enemy heroes and when Fury reaches 0. Yeah, same thing as God Goku. Very similar passive, but more suited for tanks. And if you can see, God Vegeta is a ranged tank. We did see that in the content creator event, but it's good, seeing it here. See the passive fill up. I imagine it fills up more with abilities. Yeah, we saw the big jump there. And yeah, we see him healing the whole time. That's a pretty big heal. Because, he's this much health when he starts. He essentially lost, maybe close to a fourth or third of his health. And then once it procs, the gauge still has time to, so it's a third or a fourth left, and he's full health. So, that passive could be good. I mean, we know what, Bardock gives himself extra health and damage reduction when he gets his full passive up. We know how annoying that is. So depending on how fast God Vegeta can get his passive, God Vegeta can also be really annoying. Rush attack. An energy blast attack damage increases if you have armor. Okay. So yeah, you do more damage with when you have armor. Good passive. Alright, good rush attack. Skill 1, prominence blow. Charge forward in a set direction. Apply steal attack on hit to self and the enemy, stealing the enemy's attack power and adding it to your own. The higher the enemy hero's all attack powers, the greater effect. Interesting. Let me see how this looks. Okay, just looks like a simple mobility. And yeah, we saw the effect there of, Goku had the purple arrows pointing down. You could see his, purple energy going into God Vegeta. So interesting. He has a steal stats mechanic. I believe that's the first time we've seen that in this game. I could be wrong. But a steal stats mechanic is very interesting. So theoretically, the more attack that an enemy has, the more attack you steal from them. So they'll be doing less damage. And theoretically, you should be doing more damage. So if a person has Snowball, they get more stacks. But then you're just going to be lowering their attack some more. Interesting. And then, of course, if you proc this, you'll get your cooldowns back when you proc your passive. So you can maybe do this twice. So I wonder if they stack or if it just refreshes the cooldown. But imagining hitting the prominence blow, and let's just say a Kefla, and then you get your passive proc, so your cooldown reduction fully reset. Because I'm imagining it works exactly like God Goku, where God Goku's cooldowns all reset when he gets passive. I'm imagining the same thing for God Vegeta. So imagine you use prominence blow on a Kefla, you get your passive, your cooldowns reset, and then you use prominence blow again on Vegeta. Depending on how long this cooldown lasts, you could be doing a lot of damage. But obviously, we don't know how long it lasts or what's even the initial cooldown of this ability because we don't have it playable in game. You could probably search through the content creator event and find the exact numbers, but I'll just wait till I play them in game. But very interesting ability. I'm wondering exactly how the skill differs from when you rank it up. Like, or do you steal more attack when the more points you have into it? Like, if it's level super, does it steal more attack? I imagine the range it goes increases depending on how much the abilities are ranked. But interesting, we'll find all these small number stuff when he comes out. But that's interesting for a tank to have. Skill 2 Divine Zone, I believe we definitely saw those. Unleash energy pulses into the surrounding, pulling in enemies several times. The final wave has a stronger pull. Activating God Shine Attack while the skill is active shortens the time until the stronger pull occurs. So I'm imagining God Shine Attack is skill 3, but let's see this Divine Zone. Okay, so it's bringing him Goku, and then the final pull pulls him in. Oh, no, it looks like God Shine Attack is his ult. Interesting, okay. So yeah, this ability, from what the content creator event was showing, seems like a kind of better version of Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta skill 1 of bringing people in. It's like a combination of Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta skill 1, the kick that he does towards the ground that brings you closer to him, as well as Super Saiyan Vegeta skill 2, the Photon Bomber, the big purple like sphere he throws out. Because it takes some time to, bring people in, but if people are in it by the time the ability ends, they'll be right in front of you like the Super Saiyan 4 kick. So that could be good depending on the range. And, he has some mobility for his skill 1 Prominence Blast or Punch, whatever it was, below, whatever. So, imagine you use it, you Vanishing Step in, you use it, and then you bring a whole team in. Interesting. And then it looks like you can proc it, ult, instantly brings people in. And it looks like his ult actually stunned. We saw it in the content creator event that it does stun. But that could be a kind of a deadly combo. You use your skill 1, Vanishing Step, get in their skill 2, ult immediately, bring people super close, you ult, you stun, you combo that, I don't know, let's just say like an oob ult. And the whole team's going to be dead. Interesting, okay. Skill 3, Red Bind Shot. Fire energy blast at enemies within a set range. Applies immobile to enemies on a hit. Energy blast will pursue enemies for a set time and disappear upon hitting a wall. The number of possible targets increases the skill level. Okay, Goku's running. Ooh, so you have it's better than, Cooler's anti-mobility skills, skill 2. This is straight up, you just will not move anywhere. So it's more like a route in League. Okay. Is it like homing? Does it go a straight line? That seemed pretty fast, and it looks like it does follow them, so it's not just a straight line that went diagonal to follow Goku and Krillin. You could hit up to multiple people with it, depending on how long this tracks, because it says it only stops and hits a wall, and we know they changed Gotenks Ghost to only follow you for like a couple seconds instead of infinitely. So depending on how long this follows you, this could be a really good way to stop Kefla. Because you imagine, she's vanishing everywhere you use Red Bind Shot, she's immobile. You then use your skill 2, bring her in. Then maybe your cooldown is reset, or you get your passive Red Fury. You then skill 3 again. She just cannot move and you should be able to kill it. If it tracks that hard, that is insane. I wonder how actually long this is active for, so we're going to count the frames. Because I believe he tested Bardock was like 1 second, 2 seconds. So they get hit like here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So like 30 seconds or like 30 frames. It's like half a second. Did that seem right? No, they get hit. No, that definitely seems longer than half a second. Oh, yeah, I think when they render these videos, it's 30 frames. So, yeah, like a full second. And I believe when I counted Bardock, that I counted 60 frames. So that's 2 seconds. That's why that ability seems so much stronger. Because I forget when they render these videos, they do it in 30 frames per second. So I believe it actually lasts a little bit longer. So this is like a second. Which is still strong, if this is a truly like a point and click, something like a Deborah skill 1, Goku, sorry about that, Diamond Goku skill 2 Glorio, for like a full second, like route, that's pretty good, especially considering he can refresh the cooldown of his passive, and then by that time, he's going to be already proccing his skill 2, so be able to suck you in. That could be pretty good. Super attack, God Shine attack. Warp to a set position in the sky and release an energy wave, staggering enemies with an explosion. Can be discovered by enemy heroes while attacking. At skill level 3 super, range extends to the entire stage, excluding inaccessible areas. So it's very similar to God Goku's, where it looks like God Goku, where he goes up to the sky, does a big explosion, and at max rank it's global. Looks like this is the same thing. Now, I believe I saw this during the event, where at the content creator, and we saw it actually in the trailer, where God Goku, he'll do the attack, but then go back to where he cast it, while God Vegeta will go to where he aimed it at. As you can see now, God Vegeta is right next to Goku, while God Goku, he would just be at the initial spot. So that could be very strong for a tank, you know. Imagine you barely get out, you recall your full health, you see either one of your teammates is pushing, or they're on boss. Instead of a God Goku just hoping to snipe it, you're now God Vegeta, you ulted, you stunned them, and now you're there. Imagine if you paired that up with like a Super Saiyan 3. You know, God Vegeta stuns the whole team, then the Super Saiyan 3 Dragon Fist. Or imagine whenever your team's gonna go rat, you just ult on top of your teammate, and now you have 2 people ratting instantly. Being able to have a full stage teleport that's also a stun is really strong. The amount of map pressure you can have with that. I mean, we've seen with Super Saiyan 3, the amount of map pressure and how differently you have to play when you have a Super Saiyan 3 on your team or the enemy team. God Vegeta having that max rank, sure, will you see that all the time? No. But it's still incredibly strong, you know, having basically a map-wide stun that you could also, will then have his skill 2 to activate the skill and skill 3 to stun them. And that's about it. Obviously, we don't know the numbers, right? We don't know his cooldowns, his damage, his tankiness, right? And we don't know if there's going to be another balance patch with God Vegeta. You know, we saw him last week where they nerfed Hit. If the main question now, obviously, is will God Vegeta be better than Bardock? That is the main question, I'm sure, on everyone's minds, because Bardock is ridiculous. And honestly, with maybe the exception of Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and maybe Cooler as like an anti-meta option, Bardock almost invalidates all the other tanks. No other tank can do as much damage as Bardock. No other tank can protect their team as strong as Bardock. No other tank can live as long as Bardock. No other tank can escape as well as Bardock. Bardock just has everything. And if they don't nerf Bardock, it's the real question of, is Bardock or God Vegeta better? And obviously we don't know everything about God Vegeta. We'll find that out for ourselves when we play him. And if they actually do plan to nerf Bardock. But God Vegeta seems cool. I mean, you have like a regen tank like Super Saiyan Vegeta. You have your pull-ins from, you know, Super Saiyan Vegeta and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. You have stuns. You have a map-wide ult. And you have a cooldown reduction passive like God Goku. You know, they seem like they're going to work very well together, you know. Super Saiyan Vegeta or Super Saiyan God Vegeta can stun him. God Goku can use his gun. Super Saiyan Vegeta or Super Saiyan God Vegeta can stun him with his ult, and then God Vegeta Goku can do a lot of damage with his ult. They're both refreshing their cooldowns with their passives, and you know, God Vegeta should be able to protect God Goku because let's just say I don't know, Vegito gets on God Goku. God Vegeta can stun the Vegito, or maybe even bring in the Vegito and even steal the Vegeta's attack to make the God Goku live longer. We need to see the exact numbers of how long God Vegeta's cooldowns are and how strong the steel attack is, because depending on how strong the steel attack is and how low cooldown God Vegeta has, he could be a really good team protector. And also be very annoying that you can't escape from him. So obviously we need to check him out in game, but he should be coming out pretty much 27 hours from now. I don't know if that's exactly math, if I'm mathing correctly. I think it's like 27 hours from now. So we'll be finding out very shortly how good God Vegeta is. And I'm curious if they're going to nerf Bardock at all, because there's going to be a serious discussion of Bardock versus God Vegeta. If they do not nerf Bardock. And even if Bardock does get nerfed, there's still going to be that discussion, because Bardock's base kit is really strong, and they have to tune it down a lot. Especially because they buffed him. I still have no idea why they buffed Bardock, but God Vegeta looks cool. You know, I love the red effects. I especially love his skill 2. You know, I think, you know, this effect looks really cool, even though the game quality kind of dims down because it's super zoomed in. I love how this ability looks. So, and I just love how God Vegeta looks. You know, I'm a big fan of Gal when they get the red right, and especially God Vegeta in the Broly movie. They got it so right. So I'm excited for him. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. Stay tapped into the channel if you want to update everything Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra, including news, future news coverage. More videos on God Goku, God Vegeta, and Kid Buu when they come out, because God Vegeta is very soon, guys. So if you want to stay tapped in and see my first impression of God Vegeta, make sure you stay subscribed to the channel. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!